The SLO Comedy Festival happening this weekend. You can get your tickets right now by logging on to kzoz.com. So, all right, so let's talk about the show, man. It starts tonight, and you guys are all over the place. We got Eric Shantz here, Mark Fry, and Kris Rubio. How many total comedians are coming to town to put on?
There's 40 festival comedians, and then there's another 10 probably for the SLO case that come in from out of town, and it kind of grows, and but we usually have about 50 comics in total.
Wow! And so they're all getting rooms. I mean, this is going to occupy a lot of hotel rooms.
We take over an entire hotel.
True story, Eric. I do a side hustle, and it's the most common side hustle, and that is the Uber drive. And and last year when the festival was going on, I picked up 2 comedians, and they were just 3 sheets to the wind.
I'm sure.
And we had just talked to you earlier that week, and then they're sitting there talking. I really had to bite my tongue, and I had to take them to it's something called
the Poison Show,
University Inn or something like that. And I picked them up at a house, so it was like some house party. Over off of Broad on the north side of Broad, and they were
we rented. We did the Air BNB, rented the house.
Oh, that brown house right off the freeway.
Yeah.
All right.
We didn't do that this year. They don't like.
They don't like 50 people in one house.
The neighbors really hated the whole fact that we had 40 comics over
there. So it was like super early in the morning, like 4:30 in the morning, and these guys were really having a good time. But they were talking about you, and I had to bite my tongue because they were talking about how you were working on a girl all night long, and one of the girls totally wanted them, and it was like total bravado talk, And I wanted to say, I met Eric. He's a pretty nice guy, just to see what their response was, but I exercised caution.
Hilarious.
You guys kind of treat it as a party when you come to town,
That's
right?
the idea, yeah. It's we most of our budget is renting hotel rooms for the comics. To house 40 comics is not cheap.
Yeah.
And we take over pretty much. We're at I don't want to say, and then all of a sudden everyone starts showing up at our hotel room. But we rent the hotel, and it becomes the party at the hotel room, and then
in one room.
40 comedians in one room.
And it's what was it, like 2 years ago we had Eddie Brill there. He was the booker from Letterman.
Yeah.
And we're in a hotel room partying at like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's to me, it's just mind blowing.
Now this is kind of a move. This festival moves, right? I mean, you do it from town to town. It's not like you just do this here, right?
No, we have Atascadero that has a show. We have Avila Beach does a show, and then we have those are Thursday satellite shows.
But when you're not doing this Central Coast, you guys are working other places.
Yeah.
We're based in LA, so it's
There's another festival we do up in Big Bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Big Bear Comedy.
So what's the best what's the best party town? Is it Big Bear? Is it SLO? Like, where is it?
I'd say SLO.
SLO, absolutely.
Is it really?
Absolutely.
Are you just saying that because you're on the damn radio station in SLO?
Yeah.
Okay, because we're big in Big Bear too.
Nice. Yeah.
Huge listeners.
I mean, Big Bear. They're about equal.
We have 3 people who stream us in Big Bear, and they're really upset right now.
We're on 92.9 The Eagle in Big Bear. Let's see you right now. You're done. They're like, what are those asses' name again?
You'll never work in this town again.
Big Bear's it's a little more conservative of a town.
It's a little bit more like seniors live there or something. It seems kind of
that too, but it's a lot of
quiet.
it's second homes.
Yeah.
It's a destination.
Yeah.
We're here. That people live here. It's a year-round thing, and people are passing through, going from LA to San Fran or vice versa.
And tremendous civic pride in this town. That is
we have great bars, great restaurants.
Yeah,
great food.
Let's talk about some of the venues you guys are at, because a lot of these bars and restaurants become these really cool comedy venues that we don't have on a normal basis. I'm trying to think. There's a couple
the conversion
places
process of some of these places cracks me up. That's comedy in its own right.
Yeah. But it's looking at the room and just kind of it's pipe and drape. It's putting a stage down. It's basically a soapbox of a stage, and you sound it and light it, and it ends up looking like a comedy club.
Yeah.
But I think the owners of some of these venues are just like, you want to do a show here? We never do that.
Where are you at in Avila? Are you in Mr. Rick's?
Mr. Rick's in Avila, yeah.
And they've got that nice, cool little
that makes
stage.
Sense.
What's the name of the place you guys do it in Atascadero?
Marston's 101, but it's the Caldera Room in the Holiday Inn Express. So it's just a box of a room. It's a conference room, and that holds 100 people, and it's awesome.
That was last year was the first year that we did that, and it was packed. I was hosting that show, and to the point where I was putting chairs up to like the point where I was like going on stage.
Trying
Like,
to accommodate.
Yeah,
the people.
literally,
Yeah.
like people were just like packed in.
Atascadero's thirsty for stuff.
It was
It's just
great.
like-
Yeah. It was a great
so-
show.
Yeah.
It was an awesome show, and you know,
You're right. No, that's a good point. Atascadero is thirsty for anything. I mean, they
You
drink-
said it. We didn't say anything.
but-
It's
It is kind of the bastard stepchild on the Central Coast. I don't know why. I'm not from here. I moved here 12 years
Nice-
ago.
nice
Jeff and
people?
And so, yeah.
I wanted to say they're very nice.
If you have meth, they're really friendly. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Who was a
Atascadero.
comedian a few years ago? He was from SLO, and he talked about he was on the Best of the Fest, and he's like, man, he goes, I grew up in SLO. He goes, I used to wash windows and all that stuff. He goes, but if you have a best friend that like moves to Atascadero, say goodbye to that person. You're never seeing him again. You're not driving over to Hill to visit that guy.
So, I mean, you talk about the party. Jeff talked about the drunk guys. Is it intense when you guys work? I mean, is it a lot of alcohol or?
Well, it's a balancing act.
Okay.
You know, and
Right?
I,
That's
I,
important.
I can't start drinking personally until well after 9 o'clock. Like I have to make sure everything is up, running, and going. And then once usually we get to the last show, the Poison show, I can kind of relax and
Yeah.
things are on.
Is there like a game plan during the day when you're going to drink that much? Like you have to have a big meal before, drink a
Last
lot
night-
of water.
So last night we were at Marston's, and I told the bartender weeks in advance, no shots because we're doing the radio tour tomorrow morning, and he agreed, and he stuck to it, and we
Wow.
did no shots.
good old Marston.
And of course, Eric yesterday was like, "We're taking shots."
Rather shot. Let's get it going. Here.
So we got
Make
Eric
some bad
Shantz.
decisions.
He puts on the festival. Mark Fry is here, comedian Kris Rubio as well. Where are you guys from? L.A.?
I'm originally from Arizona.
Okay.
And then I've been in LA for about 11 years or so.
I was just in Arizona over the weekend. A whole other set of rules there. You
Yeah,
can ride
right.
in the back of pickups, shoot guns.
Yeah, I know it's the Wild West.
It is.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it's a dry hate.
What cracks me up is the drive-through liquor store. Is that still a thing?
Yeah, I assume so. I haven't been back.
Once you leave, you don't go back.
Yeah, I know you don't go back, but
Drive through
Yeah.
liquor and gun shops.
Yeah,
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
it's very funny. Like I remember one time, like back, I called my mom, and like I live in the Valley in LA.
Okay. But
Sherman Oaks. Or
Okay.
whatever. And so we were having a hot day, and I was like kind of complaining to my mom about like the heat. I'm like, oh, it's like 90 degrees, and she literally said, and I quote, she's like, oh yeah, it's not that bad today. It's only like 115, and I'm like, what the what? And she was like serious. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, they're lizard people.
Yeah.
They're all like crazy. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, my parents recently retired. They're from like the Seattle area where it's raining cold all the time. So, they love 120.
Yeah.
They're just running around, but they're burnt all the time.
Gosh.
Naked, and
Just naked and burnt.
throwing caution to the wind. They're like, "We're old. We're YOLO.
Yeah.
Bring on Havasu. Bring on spring
The
break.
housing
do it all."
market, the housing market in Arizona, it's like for the price of a house in California,
I
you
know.
can get 3 of them in
Yeah.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Three
Crazy.
sprawling homes.
Yeah.
No, they
with,
got a house
with like movie theaters in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,600 square feet, 3-bedroom pool for like $230.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. It's ridiculous. Beautiful brand new house.
That's a crack den on the street.
Now we've been giving away tickets to the Only Raunchy Survive. No, Only the Nasty
Only the
Survive.
nasty.
Only
that's
the
right.
raunchy
Weak-minded people, stay away.
Yeah,
we don't want
this
you.
sounds. I've heard great things about this show. Very, very funny. But it's intended for adult audiences, and we're going to give more tickets to that away coming up here in a little bit. But there's other shows. You do some stuff that is
Absolutely.
family friendly, right?
Well, we're family-friendly comics.
I'll let you explain it, Eric.
Well, it's PG-13 to adults. So
Okay.
the earlier shows are much more clean. It's as the
Like
later,
something you'd see on TV. Like,
Yeah, it's
like
TV
Conan
mainstream.
or like
Mm-hmm.
and then the later the night gets, the darker the humor gets, is what we always say. So
Now,
like,
Chris, you're hosting one at Spikes on
Yeah.
Friday, and it's the show that you guys have brought up a little
Which
bit.
is The Poison.
The Poison.
yeah.
Yeah.
What is that like? I mean, is that how do you, as a host, how do you control that atmosphere?
Well, see, this is gonna be the first time I'm gonna be hosting the Poison show. So I don't know if I should just go up there obliterated before I start hosting the show, or if I just go up there and just trickle down.
slowly kind of like get
trickle
drunk with the
down.
crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to wade into the waters on that one.
Yeah.
You don't want to
Okay.
get you
I
don't
guess-
want to get a contact drunk before you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll be contacting previous hosts.
Has there been anybody that you've had to kick off the tour because they were just so ridiculous? I'm sure it wasn't their comedy; it was probably more of their actions. After Jeff picked them up in the Uber.
No, no, we've. I have a letter that I give everybody. Like it's that you're an ambassador of the festival.
Oh, I see.
Without realizing it,
Yeah.
like what you do and say.
Yeah,
really
don't embarrass me,
reflects on
jerk.
us.
Yeah, a letter. Okay.
But everyone's, they're all professionals. These guys have toured internationally. It's not like a local amateur hour. It's guys that have worked overseas and they've been on television and they're professional comics.
Like for instance, Jimmy Schubert, one of the comics, half-hour Comedy Central special, like Letterman, like
Ryan Stout.
Yeah, Ryan.
he's been on Chelsea lately like
Wayne
a million
Perkins.
times. Perkins was not this.
Mark
year.
Eddy, Comedy Central, half-hour special, tours around
He
the
was
world.
College Entertainer of the Year for 5 years in a row or something.
Jesus Christ! I didn't mean to offend you guys.
What are you thinking?
Roll out that resume.
He literally just pulled out his phone and
I
started.
will never do this show
Let me
again.
give you the bios of all the comics.
No. Here's the
But
deal.
yeah, they're
You
professional
can check
comics.
out the comics. You can check out their bios. And, of course, you can get your tickets to the shows. Go to kzoz.com. We've got the SLO Comedy Festival linked up right
Full
there.
lineup where it's coming to your. You're not going to miss the. I noticed that you're working, Chris. You're working at Avila Beach tonight, and then but the kickoff event is downtown. Are you going to be able to make it over there?
I'll be able to make it over there. I'll probably be a little late, and depending on what kind of I'm just I could say drugs or.
You'll be honest,
Let's
you
just
can
say
be-
I'm gonna make it there.
Extracurricular activities.
This is a PG-13
Gotta
show.
turn on that Uber.
Yeah.
It's not quite rated R, but it's not family friendly either. So you're fine.
I love watching Rubio.
So how many lines do you do before you go on stage? 2 or 3?
Yeah.
Just one massive one.
Mama's powder.
No, that sounds great, guys.
Get the garden hose.
This has really become an event that people in
We're
SLO
going to
talk
edit
about.
all this out. This is all getting.
Yeah. All right, let's start this interview now. All right.
We're all friends here,
Back
right?
to one. All right.
You guys are
That's a
so
good
much
rehearsal.
fun. I can't wait for the entire weekend. Once again, go to kzoz.com, click on SLO Comedy Festival to get your tickets. Good to see you guys, man. Have fun.
Good morning.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.